How to make a funk? Oh, dude, how to make a funk beat using Bandlab's free web mix editor? Okay, wait, hold on. We're rerouting here. We are rerouting here, dog. We're coming back to this here real quick. Oh boy, this is gonna be gold. I'm excited. There's no way this cannot be amazing. I'm excited for this. I've been this excited since Bishu was talking about horses. What? All right, let's go.
Hi, this is Mike from Bandlab.
No, at least it's got a cowbell. Definitely funk. Grammy nominated. Put that new Bandlab on the aux. True. DJ Khaled, living proof that not every artist has imposter syndrome. True.
And in this video, we're going to make a funk beat in Bandlab's free online DAW. You can open this project yourself with the link in the video description.
Snare sucks.
If you find this guide useful, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be the first.
Oh, I am finding this useful. I'm going to subscribe. I am subscribed. Notifications on too, man.
To know when new videos drop. I begin by setting the project tempo to 170 beats
Doesn't need to be that high.
per minute, and the project key to G minor. Funk tracks often use
Wait, so they made this in their like free web DAW? That's interesting.
pitched 808 cowbell sample,
I didn't know they had that.
and I'd really like to use one in this beat. So I open up
To be fair, they couldn't have picked a simpler thing to make.
Bandlab sounds and enter cowbell into the text search field. 808 cowbell is exactly what I'm looking for, so I create a new sampler track and drag it into the first sample pad. Funk tracks will often pitch the cowbell sound down,
Hasn't done anything wrong so far.
so I turn the pitch knob down to -12 semitones.
Doesn't have to be like that.
I'd like to be able to play this sample at other pitches too, so I need to create some copies of the sample. To do this, hold Option
Oh, wow.
on Mac or Alt on Windows, and drag the sample
So you mean you can't just play it like a keyboard?
into another pad. I do this twice, setting the first copy's pitch to -7 semitones to give me a perfect fourth up from the first version, and the second copy's to -6 to give me a diminished fifth. I sequence a
got
two-bar
a banger
pattern that
here
creates a
already.
rhythmic, hypnotic vibe.
Okay. Not bad.
Funk tracks are typically lo-fi sounding,
Drift funk guy. Drift funk.
so I'm going to use a touch of distortion on these cowbells. I open the effects panel and add distortion, BL,
So formulaic. You can tell it's formulaic because they process it before they like make the beat. You know what I mean?
driver effect.
Like to process it before you make the beat just shows it's kind of formulated.
I set the drive to 0.4 and the volume to 4.0.
I don't think you really had to do that. Not to that extent, at least.
I also add a delay, D-delay.
Delay? Really?
I set the time to 0.182 Hz
It actually sounds worse, yeah.
and the wet level to 12. This gives us just a touch of rhythmic interest.
Dude, you can, like I said, you can tell it's so formulaic by the fact they're processing it before making the rest of the beat. Like they made this beat beforehand. That's what I think, at least. Basically remaking the beat for the tutorial.
I'd like the sound to be more atmospheric, so I add a reverb, studio reverb,
You don't need to add any of this.
setting the mix to 3.5 and the size to 1.2.
I wouldn't even be surprised if they had all the settings written down already and he's just going off of like a notepad or something.
I want to squash the signal to make it consistently loud, so I added Dynamics BL1176 compressor.
Bruh, just make the beat, man. He's spending like the first 3 minutes processing this cowbell. Yeah, weirdly specific numbers, like why not go with what sounds good? Has to be written down for the numbers he's saying to be so precise, yeah.
I turned the track's volume down to -9 dB to give me more headroom to add other elements to the mix. Drums are the next priority, so I create a new virtual instrument track and set it to drums, drum pads, trap kit. I sequence a straightforward 2-bar trap beat with kicks, snares, and hats.
That snare though. No.
I duplicate this out for the rest of the 4-bar clip. To duplicate notes or clips in Bandlab,
That is, we got the hi-hat god here.
You like a hi-hat guy, kind of.
hold Option on Mac or Alt on Windows, then drag them into the desired position.
Oh my god. Yo, was that DJ Paul there?
For the second time around, I move the second
Alright, click fill each 2 steps. Too bad he didn't process that snare. True.
forward an eighth note. I also add a hat roll. To do this, set View, Grid Size to 1/32.
Okay, dude, he is the real hi-hat god here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo. Need to collab with this dude. He's cooking. He is cooking now.
I return the setting to Smart when I'm done.
This guy
I'd
is
also like a
smart.
touch of distortion on the drums too, so I add a BL driver Turning the tone up to maximum, I turned this track down to minus 8 dB.
Oh my god. We turned this track down to minus 8.3 dB. I wonder how much he charges per hi-hat roll. The sauce. Yeah, that sounds like don't match, dude.
Now it's time to add a big 808 bass. I create a new instrument track and set it to basses, 808.
I don't know. I think I'm done with Ableton after this. Yeah, I gotta check out Bandlab's free DAW.
808 saturated bass. This bass comes pre-distorted, so all I have to do is compose a bass line. I keep it simple, using just the root note and the minor seventh. I turn this track down to minus 5 dB.
Oh no.
The main elements of the track are now in place.
Who let this man cook?
So it's time to add some sonic flavor. In Bandlab Sounds, I select the Loops tab and clear the text search field. I set the instrument filter to voice and the genre filter to hip-hop trap. The Blast Vocal 04 is ideal, so I drag it into the project and use the handle at the bottom
Where is he going with this?
right-hand corner of the clip.
Root note, minor seventh. What kind of fucking sorcery is this? I mean, I started off Bandlab is cool enough to get started out real quick. You're gonna want VST support, so you're gonna leave it fast, which is why I did. He had to bring out the music theory for that. Sonic flavor over analog warmth. Let him cook.
To truncate it to 4 bars in length.
Is he saying cork?
In the effects panel, I add a studio reverb,
Oh, that's what it needs. Pork.
setting the mix
Pork,
to 1.3
I can't. Yo, that is some serious funk right here,
and
dude.
the size to 2.6.
Pork.
I turn this track down to minus 3 dB. I'd like to evoke a sinister atmosphere, so I add an instrument track and set it to strings, string orchestra.
Okay.
I sequence a single note that lasts for a whole 4-bar sequence on G.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. He's cooking, dude. He is cooking.
In the effects panel, I add a BL driver, which gives the sound a more lo-fi feel, but does add a ringing frequency that I don't really want.
I'm just gonna drag some soothe on it.
To remedy this ringing frequency, I add a tone multi-filter.
I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit impressive that he was able to do this on their web DAW, but this is awful. Way too complex vocabulary for me. How can I follow along? True.
Set the frequency to around 3600 Hz.
Hey, what happened to the vocal, man? You muted the vocal. Maybe he wasn't feeling the pork.
I set this track to minus 18 dB. Everything is sounding a little too clean,
Just need it to, like, be so quiet I can barely hear it.
so I'm going to add some natural noise. In Bandlab
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sounds, I clear the search filters and enter rain into the text search field.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Okay, that's gonna tie it together here. We just need some rain. You know what? No, actually, we need that Sound Doctor Cafe effect.
Rainstorm Ambient fits the bill.
Watch, it actually ties it together and we're the fucking idiots.
I don't want to muddy up the low end, so I add another multi-filter in high pass mode, and this time set the frequency to around 500 Hz.
It's gonna be banging.
I turn this track down to minus 18 dB.
So then after making this beat, I turn my speakers off and it sounds pretty good. Sounds so legit, dude. It sounds like it just came straight from the tape. DJ Paul, is that you?
For the arrangement, I begin with the cowbell and rain noise, and add the string.
Pork.
Then I bring just the hats from the drum track in. Then we get a touch of the vocal before the drop.
Come on.
From this point on, I bring various tracks in and out to keep the arrangement interesting.
I'm not gonna lie, like the cowbell pattern is like pretty.
For the outro, I finish with just the cowbell and rain again, adding a final rain clip onto the end.
Yes, that's what we need.
To fade this out smoothly,
The vocal is so funny how they released this. Probably because they didn't want to use like an actual funk vocal sample or a Memphis rap vocal sample.
I use the editor tab and apply a fade to the end of the
Dude, this guy's G, dude.
sample.
You guys think I could rip this and then like upload it as my own track? Mike did the first tutorial we've reacted to.
You can fork this project yourself and make your own version of it using the link in the video description.
Yeah.
Have fun!
Pork. Dude, Bandlab stuff is great, dude.
Band Incorporated.